Hey, Ginger. Hey, what's up with the YouTube? I'm back with another movie review. All right, so this time I want to talk about American Fiction. American Fiction is a movie that I saw probably about a week or so ago, and I've been meaning to make this video. Finally got some time to do it, so I want to tell y'all what I thought about the movie. Okay, so plot-wise, the movie is about a Arthur who also happens to be a professor, like many Arthurs, who's basically struggled to have he's a little disconnected from his family. He also hasn't had like a hit book in just like a long ass time. I don't believe they actually say how much time it's been, but we'll just say it's been 10 years. So what happens is he actually gets kind of placed on like a probation slash like fired from his job as a teacher or a professor, I should say. And on this probation, they basically tell him, hey, you got to walk away. Essentially, he's one of those super pro, like, I don't want to say super pro, like, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but he's one of those like super, like, I guess some people would consider them extreme. He's like an extremist. That's the word I'm looking for. So he's one of those people who's like an extremist when it comes to teaching his points. Now, I think it's important to note that he's not just extreme on certain topics, whether it's like Holocaust, or even like, you know, Asian people. He's going all the way in. There are two specific scenes at the beginning of the movie where basically he makes two students uncomfortable. So he's actually done this multiple times. So the school is like, hey, you know what? We can't have that here. So we got to send you away. As he goes to the airport to go back to his hometown, he's picked up by his sister. So everything is cool. Their mother is suffering from like early stages of dementia. You know, still in the early stages, but the sister is taking care of the mom. There's also a brother. The brother lives like all the way over here. I want to say West Coast. So everybody's spread out except for the sister and the housekeeper. So essentially he goes back to visit his sister. The mom's consistently asking the sister about her ex-husband. Mind you, her sister's been divorced for quite some time at this point. Remember, dementia. So this is when everything kind of speeds up super fast. The sister ends up dying. So when his sister dies, he's kind of stuck like, damn, like I gotta stay here to basically kind of make things right, and not really make things right, but to help take care of mom, being that this is the new environment that he's in. Well, not really new environment, but this is the new scenario he's presented with. So with that being said, I mean, their father had passed away many years before, and his brother is kind of living his own thing. His brother is a part of the LGBT community, so it's kind of like an outcast. Not so much for, I guess, his beliefs, but more so by his mom. Like, she makes like little jokes, and I don't want to say jokes because, like I said, she has dementia, right? So she makes like little jokes kind of in the movie that kind of makes the younger brother feel like basically not accepted, right? So in the midst of all this going on, he meets a woman across the street on a random day. He meets the woman across the street who happens to be the lady who played in Living Single. So basically they have some coffee. A guy walks in, which he's like, hey, are you staying for dinner? He's like, wait a minute, like I didn't know you had a man. So she ends up explaining to him like the next day or so, hey, we're going through a rough patch. We just happen to live together, but they're basically breaking up. So in the midst of this, he's talking to his agent, and in the universe of the movie, we're seeing basically super black books kind of blow up, right? Like super black books. For example, Issa Rae is like kind of like the poster child. She's written this book, and the book is basically, I would describe it like basically if somebody was from the hood and they just wrote a book with that type of dialect and they didn't switch it up or adjust it at all. Of course, the Arthur, he's like, what the hell? Like, y'all like this type of stuff? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, he basically feels like it's been super dumbed down, which it actually has. I think it's kind of a play on people in society, to be honest. But the book is like going crazy, the book that Issa Rae has written. So his agent is just like, man, we need like basically content like this. And what happens is they get presented, they come up with like a alter ego, a fugitive who's on the run. It's basically writing books now, and it's like real hardcore street books, right? I think anybody from the inner city kind of knows what I'm getting at, but if you don't know what I'm getting at, hey, just ask me in the comments and I'll be happy to break it down. So yeah, he starts writing this book, and like basically he sends in this manuscript, and the publisher goes crazy. They're like, hey, we'll give you like $2 million. Like we need this like all the way, like going in. So they were loving this book. Mind you, this is for him, it's like a super dumbed down book. He's like, what the hell? Like, so in this process, boom, he gets offered a movie deal too. So now he has to go meet with this director guy. And he's like, yeah, man. So like, you know, how are you going to end the book? Like, I want something like hardcore, you know, basically they're just glorifying like the whole inner city vibe. I don't want to say making a mockery, but yeah, he's just like, hell no. Like, I know y'all can't like this, but they're just, the people in the world are eating it up. So the book ends up coming out. Mind you, he starts dating the woman from across the street at this point, still taking care of his mother. The housekeeper ends up getting married, so he's there, just doing his thing, being a good son for once, right? The brother comes around. They eventually get the mom into a home. Mind you, he's paying for it. People are wondering how he's paying for it. They don't know that he's created this alter ego with this book. And with this, well, basically, he's created this alter ego and got this big cash advance for this book. So they don't know that. They're just like, damn, like how he's keeping it low key. He didn't want anybody to know who it is. So the movie keeps going. And this is when it starts to kind of get a little bit trippy because now he's talking to the director. They're trying to figure out how to end the book. So you speed it up. He continues to date the woman across the street, and they continue to progress. At one point in time, they get into an argument because she's bought this book. He named the book Fuck, right? So she's bought the book, not knowing it's him. She's like, oh yeah, I think it's, a good read or a solid read. People are eating up the book, and it's just eating at him that people like this stupid book. Because in his mind, he just wrote it as some BS, right? Let's speed it up. So now it gets to the point where he gets selected. So like midway through the movie, him, Issa Rae, and like 3 other writers get selected for this committee. This committee is supposed to pick and spotlight a book that basically is from like a up and coming writer, right? So boom, you could do the math. His book ends up getting picked. The book that he's like, it's just a big joke to him. Made some money, but it ends up getting picked. So boom, there's this award. So this is when it speeds up. And now it basically, they're like, hey, this guy can't be here right now. So when they start clapping, and then he starts walking, they're like, wait a minute, why are you walking towards the... So he goes towards the podium, and then this is when it gets a little trippy. There's one scene where the FBI people storm in, boom, boom, shoot him when he has the trophy. There's another scene where it just cuts off right as his girlfriend is walking in. He's basically going up there to reveal himself. And what it ends up showing us is he's with the director, and he's like, hey, what do you think about this ending? And the director's like, we got to give it something real dramatic. You know what I'm saying? So, and then the movie cuts off. To be honest, this movie, I did expect more from them, but I feel like for what it was, it did great. And my apologies for not knowing the different actors' names off the top of my head. These are all recognizable people that we've seen before, and I'll definitely put their names in the comments. I liked the movie. I just didn't really like the ending because there really was no ending. Kind of, it's like, I don't know if the message was to be open-ended, but that's how it felt, right? It felt like, hey, we're going to be open-ended and let people's imagination. They gave us a couple scenarios, but they didn't really just give us a hard, hey, this is what happened with the story. That was kind of my only plight with it. Aside from that, I support film. I like watching different movies. I like to see what different directors do. I like to see how people play with, different storylines, different current events, and I like to see how people weave it in. What I took away from the movie was, it's kind of showing how society likes. I mean, even if let's just look at trap music for example, right? A lot of people say, oh, man, there are no lyrical rappers. We need, J. Cole's. We need more Jay-Z's. They say this all the time. And they say we appreciate that style of rap, right? Yet trap is probably the most popular style of rap music. And a lot of people feel like trap is the most dumbed down style of rap music as well because it, it has the least amount of content. So I feel like the movie was kind of playing on people in that sense where it's like, yeah, we could do this. We can offer this, but people only want this. Whenever I try to do this, sometimes it gets overlooked. But when I stoop down to this level, oh man, you own like Donkey Kong. So overall, like I said, I like the movie. Now this is a movie I would say this one is something I definitely could have probably just watched on Netflix or watched at or just watched when it went to streaming. Like I say, if you enjoyed the movies, you like the idea of going to the movies, getting out of the house, having a good time, definitely go see it. You will 1,000% enjoy it. If you're one of those people who only likes to go to the movies for things that are like 100% rock solid, like a blockbuster style, like something that's really gonna grab you, I would say I would wait for this to watch on streaming. Aside from this though, great movie. Like I said, great cinematography, a very it's like a simple but like kind of powerful message. And I just want to give a shout out to all the actors before I dip out. My apologies. So this movie, number one, was directed by Cord Jefferson, and this is actually Cord Jefferson's feature debut. So like I say, the movie, I mean, if you watch the trailer, it's like a satire type of movie. So if you like those type of movies, You will definitely enjoy it. But I feel like satire is hit or miss for some people. Like I like satire, but a lot of people can get real iffy about it. Jeffrey Wright is going to be the main actor in the movie. Tracy Ellis Ross is who plays the sister. Joan Ortiz is who played the agent. Um, and then the woman from In Living Single. So Leslie Ugams is who played the mom. Adam Brody is who played the director. Of course, Issa Rae is in the movie. You know, everybody knows Issa. And Sterling K. Brown is who played the brother, who was a part of the Sterling K. Brown played the younger sibling. My bad. Erika Alexander. That's the person. You're the person I was thinking of. Everybody knows Erika Alexander. Iconic role in Living Single. Like, and not only just in Living Single. I mean, she played in a bunch of stuff. Like, this woman is iconic. And I also want to give a special shout out to Erika Alexander, because honestly, a friend told me about this movie, but I watched her interview on The Breakfast Club, and that's what really grabbed me to make me say, you know what, I'm going to go support this movie and I'm going to watch it, regardless of what I think about the plot and different things like that, because she made a great point. Some films get categorized black cinema, black this or black that, when in reality, pretty much all of the art is black art. You know what I'm saying? I really liked her interview on The Breakfast Club. She offered a lot of insight. I recommend everybody watch it. Watching that interview is what made me say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and watch this movie. Although a friend had told me about it maybe about a day or so before that. So especially big shout out to Erika Alexander, living legend. We know. Aside from that, man, y'all have a great day. I'm glad I could finally get this video recorded. And let me know what y'all thought about the movie. This is my second time doing a movie review. The first one was The Book of Clarence. There's a lot of other movies I want to talk about, but let me know what y'all thought about this movie specifically. Did it live up to kind of what you thought it would be, or was it everything you expected? That's kind of what I want to know, because what I like to do before I even, I don't look at anybody's perspective or opinions until I watch the movie myself. So I'm curious, what did y'all think about this particular movie? And y'all have a great rest of y'all's day. Peace out.